last year. He represented Johnny Depp. Ben, welcome to Law and Crime to talk about this case. And of course, my other guest, Lara Yeretsian, another great trial attorney in California. I just won the lottery with you two being my guest, and so did you, the viewers. And Lara, let me follow up on that, because the jury, they're hearing that she could be crazy. She's making up all these stories. She's talking to people. She's lying. She's rambling. That I could attest to, because we had to listen to those tapes of hers where she never answered a question. But you are now in that courtroom. Who would you rather be, prosecutor or defense? And give me just a little tad of a defense argument that may be their best.
I would rather be the prosecutor in this one. I mean, they are doing a great job in basically showing that she may have planned this out to the point of planning out even her defense, right? They're saying she was asking a nurse, can you tell if someone's faking it? The timing of when her multiple personality disorder came out and she talked about it to the psychologist. So I mean, and especially with the horrendous nature of the charges in this case involving a young man who was entrusted to her. I mean, she's the stepmom, and the way he was murdered is just horrific. I would rather definitely be in the shoes of the prosecutor. But of course, I mean, from the defense perspective, they're going to have to focus on the ramblings. I mean, we've seen the video of her being interviewed. And she was rambling. She made zero sense when she was being interviewed by law enforcement. We saw that a while ago. So the defense has to focus on this defense and basically say, you know, she was disconnected from reality. Because look, there's really no motive. What reason did she have to kill her stepson? There was zero reason. There was no evidence of any hatred, anything really towards this kid, other than just being a stepmom who took care of him, and there were no issues. So then the only thing that can explain this is really the mental illness, and it was that because she was completely disconnected from reality and killed him, and it wasn't planned. It happened when she was in one of those multiple personalities, Maria Sanchez.
And you're not arguing for that. You're telling the viewers what indeed the defense is going to argue, because we do know that little Gannon did apparently love his stepmother, but she searched. A search, can you imagine? On a phone, on a computer. I hate my stepson. Oops. How is the jury taking this in terms of the themes that you just heard our own Gigi McKelvey espouse?
Well, the jury is going to think, okay, maybe initially, you know, we were thinking that she couldn't have done this, but, you know, with the number of people close to her dying, these people who are these supposed obstacles, right? Some were not even obstacles. She hadn't even met Chad, like her, one of her husbands. We know that the jury is going to think this woman is capable of this. This woman is not just the one who's being manipulated, the weak, the one who's just batting her eyelashes. No, this is a woman who could be a mastermind, who's getting people around her to do this dirty work for her. And that's the way that you can't, how can you ignore so many people dying around her? And then you've got this steamy relationship, with these racy texts between her and Chad, and this talk about the percentages, and she's asking about her own children. She's asking what percentage they're at before they kill them. I mean, obviously they have to hit a certain percentage. You know, what kind of mom would ask that question, right? And that in itself, I mean, the jury's got to, they have to see that she is more active than we initially believed. She's initiating some of these. It's not just Chad doing it. They're doing this together, and she's as involved, if not more involved than he is. So yes, these are very, very, negative points for her, not very good for her. We'll see what the defense, what they're going to be able to accomplish.
All right. I'd like to bring my guest in, trial attorney Ben Chu. You know him well. He represented Johnny Depp and many others, but you saw him here on the network representing Johnny Depp in that successful case last year, and a great criminal defense attorney, my friend Lara Yeretsian from California. And I want to talk about a very serious issue, and that's the issue of mental health. And I tweeted about it earlier because of all the issues we've had regarding gun violence and other violence in this country. But here, Jurors are now aware of mental health issues with people, with their own families, with themselves, and the new statistics say that about 27% of the United States suffer from some form of mental distress. So talk to me first, Lara, because I left off with you on giving us the defense case about how this affects their discussion in that jury room about Letecia Stauch's mental health.
I mean, mental health is a huge issue in the United States. As a criminal defense attorney, I see it every day. I see it now a lot more than I used to 10, 15, 20, 25 years ago. And in this case, of course, it's going to be in the mind, at the forefront of the jurors' minds, because we're dealing with a situation. We heard the argument by the defense that where is the motive here? What happened to this woman? No problems with this child. He loved her. No one's ever complained about her doing anything to harm him or say anything negative. They've gone through an enormous amount of text and social media, everything that they could look through, and nothing. So what explains this? Well, a couple of things. It could either be mental health, or something happened when she was with the child, something that happened that gave her that motive or reason to kill, and we don't know what that is. And the jury's probably going to have to spend a lot of time, and I can see them doing it, as far as this mental health issue, this multiple disorder, personality disorder argument that the defense has put out there. It's something to look into and to discuss. Yes, the prosecution has raised some important points, but again, it requires some real discussion to see if, in this case, was it really a psychotic break? And one of the things that the defense attorney said is very true, and I see it in many of my cases, where people are in psychosis, and basically they can't sleep. They're in this go, 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 and their mind is just racing. And many of them can't even remember what they did or what happened. And that argument stuck with me.
Yeah, interesting. What are your thoughts about what the jury just did?
Well, it's always hard to predict, but I'm going to say she's going to prevail on insanity.
Interesting. And Lara Yeretsian, what are your thoughts about what the jury just did that we won't hear about until, 30 minutes from now?
I'm actually going to agree with the idea that she's going to be prevailing too. After having heard what the defense said, I can't help but think that this was something that she did when she was in psychosis.
Okay, I'm going to close out the show with an adverse verdict to both of you. I'm going to say the jury is going to find her guilty on the murder, whatever count it is. But we'll see, and we'll be able to discuss when I have you back.